Hello, my name is Elizabeth Klum, and I am a MET candidate through Boise State University for the spring 2012 semester. I'm currently a 6th grade teacher here at Medicine Lodge Grade School in Medicine Lodge, Kansas. And while I was initially looking for a master's program to choose, this Boise State master's program particularly struck my eye because it had to do with technology. And I felt that this program would be extremely helpful to me in the course of my education as well as in the future. And now, unbelievably finished already, this program has done so much, in which I will tell you about. The first artifact that I'm going to tell you about was my GoEduStar evaluation. I used this artifact quite a bit in my portfolio because it had such a broad spectrum of topics that it covered. It covered evaluation, project design, determining learner characteristics, planning, regulation and policies, and implementing those regulations and policies, and implementing a plan. I did not realize when I did this project that it would be so encompassing of so many standards. This project did become very important in building my portfolio and very important in my master's journey as a whole because it did take so many different steps. When I was creating this project, GoEduStar is the student information system that we use in the school district I am in right now. And a lot of the teachers were complaining about not getting grades in, parents were complaining about grades not being updated, and a lot of students have access to those grades, and they were complaining, oh, well, why am I failing? So I did a survey just to see who was using the system. Were they using it correctly? Did the parents need training on how to log in? Did the teachers need training as to how to enter grades? If one was not familiar with technology, it would be a pretty daunting task. I was fortunate enough to have used an information system like this before, so I was just adapting to the new sections. Then what I did was I took the data that I got from the surveys and I analyzed it to see what type of people responded, what their typical answers were, and I also looked at the data to see if there were any particular areas of training that needed to be done. This artifact also gave me not only evaluation experience, but it gave me project design experience from beginning to end. So to take a project, or in this case, a software that we use, look at it, determine how it's being used, and then deciding what to do next. Specifically, not just saying, oh yes, we'll get some training. Well, what kind of training? Who needs to be in that training? How much training? Who's going to run the training? There's so much other things involved that through this program, I realized that a simple idea of getting teachers more training on technology and technological items is not that simple. There's so many things that need to go into it, and oftentimes administrators or school districts will just throw something together or talk to someone who seems to be an expert and say, you know, hey, can you do this for us? We need people to get trained. Well, it's not that easy. This program has taught me that there is much, much more that goes into it than just throwing someone up there that knows how to work a computer. So for this program, I have learned how to take a design or an implementation and take it from the beginning to the end to choose correct and appropriate guidelines, worksheets, practice, even the setting of the training has an impact on the learners as well. And in turn, although a lot of the design projects that I did do were focused on teachers, I also can in turn take that and turn it around and do those same concepts for my students. I need to determine who my students are, what their learner characteristics are, what type of setting I'm putting them in, what information do I specifically need to learn or need them to learn, what do they already know. So in a way, this program is excellent because it takes topics that are not necessarily for teachers, but if you are a teacher, you can apply it in a totally different way into the classroom itself. So I am able to take these whole project list of design things and turn it around and put it in place in my classroom. Maybe not as in depth because I would be planning for months and months and months for a one period class, but I can still take those basic concepts and turn them into a more streamlined, accurate, relevant, engaging information lesson for my students, or an activity for my students to do. And then I'm not done. I need to take the lesson itself, analyze it. Okay, what worked, what didn't, what needed to be changed, who needs to be in a different group, who needs re-explanation, doing assessments. Did this work well? Were they able to explain it in their own words? Assessments for teachers, back to the teacher portion of it, would be, can they apply it to the classroom? These projects and all these things that I've done just have an extra application where I can use them here. Yes, I'm using them in the coursework as I'm going through the coursework, but I can take those and use those every single day. I can use those in my classroom. I can use those in my tutoring sessions. I can use those even with my school district. We're doing a technology use plan, and I opened my mouth and said, oh, I've done that. And so I'm going to be helping with that as well. So there's just so much that I've learned, so much that I can take from this and apply it to actual teaching and actual working in the schools and working with technology. And it's just been so valuable to me that I can do that. So I'm going to go ahead and discuss another artifact I used was an instructional design project, labeled Instructional Design Project number 1. And this design project was completed in one of my first semesters, and it was during a time I was working in a very low income area, and we had gotten a grant and gotten several smartboards. Well, actually, we got smartboards for every teacher that didn't already have one. This design project was spurred by the fact that many teachers had no experience with these smartboards, did not know what to do with them other than to not write on them and not get them dirty. So what I did is survey the teachers to see where their comfort level lied, what types of basic application they could use with it. Can they turn it on? Can they focus it? Can they get the touchscreen calibrated, and so on, to find out where exactly the training needed to be divided up. Now, I decided to divide it up into 3 levels, beginner, intermediate, and advanced, and then I would design 3 types of training to go in those groups and put different teachers in each of those groups. Now, I did not have the time to implement this full design in real life. I wish I had. However, one teacher was the only one that came to me and requested help. Specifically, can you come to my classroom every Wednesday? And we kind of had our own little training session. After a few weeks, there was another teacher that came in, but she watched. She did not she didn't try anything. And I just found so many interesting viewpoints of how people view technology when they don't know what they're doing. So this design project was very interesting to me to see how not knowing what you're doing can lead to reluctance to using any technology at all, and that training for teachers, training for students as to using technology is very crucial if technology is to be implemented within the school system and implemented within anything. You have to have the proper training, and you have to take the time to do it right in order for it to be effective. Otherwise, students will be doing it wrong, or it will be ineffective. There's certain game sites through a Tech 597 that I saw through Edutainment that, yeah, they're games, yeah, they're fun, but they're really not learning anything. So it's important to train students and to train teachers as well to get those skills down. What is it that you want them to learn? How are they going to learn it? Are they going to practice it? All that stuff. So it's almost like creating a lesson plan for teachers as well as creating a lesson plan for students as to how you're going to integrate that technology, how it's going to work, and what you want to accomplish with it. Another artifact or group of artifacts that had a really big impact on me was also in my first semester when I worked in a low-income area, and the topic of digital divide and digital inequality. And that really struck me because of where my first teaching experiences came from. And it also struck me again as I was moving out to Kansas from the Chicago area. Moved out to the middle of nowhere, and there was still that disconnect with technology, but it was for very different reasons. When I was in Illinois, the area that I taught in had very little resources. There was a library. I'm sure they had computers at that library, but if kids couldn't walk there, they didn't go, or they didn't want to get chased by a dog to the library. Here we have a library, we have computers, we have a full-blown computer lab, we have computers in our library, we have 2 carts of computers that can be transported from classroom to classroom, and yet here students show less interest in the computers than the students that did not have access to the computers. So it was interesting for me to go from one place to a completely different place and see how those technology viewpoints, those opinions on technology and how to use technology change so much, and that they will change every year of students that I have, as well as any location or school district that I move to. Within the district I'm in now, there's only 2 schools, the high school and the grade school. At the last district I was in, there were dozens of schools, and one school was completely different than the next. The resources were used completely different than the next. And what I have found through this program is that without plans, without technology use plans, without project design, without planning these things, the technology can either be used or it goes to waste. And it's really impacted me to make an effort to plan these things. Don't just, oh, we're going to go on the computers today. I need to know what website I'm on. Where are we going? How are they going to get there? Can I create a shortcut for them to get there faster? You know, is there navigation directions that I need to give them? Are they looking for a specific set of information? I mean, there's so many things that technology can be used for that it's a negative to fly by the seat of your pants and not have it planned. So this program has just shown me over and over repeatedly the importance of planning, the importance of using technology to its fullest potential. I would like to thank you for watching. Boise State Master of Educational Technology program is phenomenal. I recommend it to everyone I come across and say, oh, I learned this, and you should do that. And if you're looking for a master's program, I'm definitely promoting this program. It is excellent. I have learned so much, and I don't think that I will ever stop using the things that I have learned in these past 2 years at all. I mean, I can only build on it and add to it, but the basic foundation is just so important. Thank you for watching my video, and I am excited to take what I have learned from this program and continue using it for the rest of my teaching career, whatever that may end up. I feel that I've gotten such a good foundation, a theoretical foundation of integrating technology into education, the importance of why, the importance of how, the importance of planning, and I plan on using it from now on. And this program has been excellent, and I thank you for the opportunity.